was a hot day, the sun was hurting my eyes. I was bracing myself for a Saturday night, focused, hot and ready to take it on. Then came a ringing on the telephone. She said, I'm thirsty and I've nothing to drink. Could you come over here and make a stop on the way? You think I drank all of mine, but I still feel like some more. If you're bringing my juice, well, blow your mind. And all seemed okay. It's not like I'm making it every day, but I got an issue with you drinking me dry, so I'm gonna have to scratch you, honey. Bye, bye, bye. From the east side, from the east side. Bye, bye, bye. From the east side, from the east side. Bye, bye, bye. East side, from the east side. Bye, bye, bye. Story does go, the candy girl sticks it way up in her nose. Where she goes, folks are watching her go, stick it in the dirt, way up in her nose. Take it back, hear the slap, she's hitting on the floor. She's got no emotion, but she knows the need for more. Always getting smashed, but she never knows high. Second get distance in, out she go, bye, bye, bye. From the east side, from the east side. Bye, bye, bye. From the east side, from the east side. Bye, bye, bye. From the east side, from the east side. Bye, bye, bye. Goodbye. This state of play's massive. I'm sick of being passive. There's a lot of shit to run, but that's making me aggressive. Too many drugs, kitty chug-a-lugs, the same old pubs with the very same mugs, the same dirty huts with the same dirty bugs. Getting down, upside down, friendly on the rug. The same old dirty sluts with the dank old upside jugs. I'd rather get down with you, bendy on the rug. I don't really care if you're supermodel fine. If you ship me with your shit, I'll give you less of my time. If you show my head with hassle or you're drinking too much wine. If you ship me creepy Charlie's running up and down my spine. When you're up in my face, spitting laced lies, I wanna fly away and crawl and curl up tight and die. No girl should make me think of words like I and I. Sorry baby, this is gravy, no more maybe. Bye, bye, bye. From the east side, from the east side. Bye, bye, bye. From the east side, from the east side. Bye, bye, bye. From the east side, from the east side. Bye, bye, bye. She was selling fun to the kids. I saw your mum over on the east side doing favours for all the pigs. We're all from the east side. I saw your mum on the east side. Hi there. Hi there.
That was quick.
Hi there. I was going to go with a different approach to an introduction and a start. But, you know, that was a plan B if everyone wasn't here at once. But here we are. We're here. Well, not everyone, but the three of us are here.
Well, yeah, where's the beam?
I haven't had a response. I'm
guessing.
He's probably sleeping. Somnambulation is potential, but
probably just the somnolence.
He's got that daytime insomnia or narcolepsy. Not sure.
Yeah, he seems to be a late night kind of creature of late.
Yeah, he sends me some late night videos.
Yeah, lots of his late night videos certainly have a tendency to seem like they're videos that people find with a late night kind of mentality.
Very
Whether
true.
it's
Very true.
enhanced in some way or another, I don't know.
Mhm. How's our favorite Australian artist this week?
I don't know. No, pretty good. Pretty good. I
All
just
right.
sent out a bunch of prints for actually all of them except for one went to the US for a like group exhibition-y thing that I'm doing,
Right.
and
Cool.
print exchange, which is a bit fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good concept. That I like it.
Hmm.
And you get some good stuff back yourself. One would hope.
Yeah.
You did last
Well-
time, didn't you? You got some really nice ones.
Yeah, especially there was one that I got that I really, really liked. It was exceptional. But they were all good. It's all fun. It's fun getting stuff from your mailbox.
I better whip through some hellos and stuff. James Hukulak, bucket of kudos in the post to you, James. Congratulations. Oh no, that's not your first one. I'm sure you've been first before. S, how are you? Shaddy, how's it going? Big D, home skillet. What's a home skillet? Or is
Home
it just
skillet?
a play on homes? Sup, Holmes? Kill it?
Home skillets like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
Big
see.
D
I
finally
gotta
bought
open
a
your
laptop.
chat. I gotta open your
Liberating.
chat in case these rambunctious children in here are gonna be typing out words. I better open the chat here just in case.
Someone's got to read it sometimes.
I mean, I try to read it, but it's normally just chaotic. Well, it's not so much the people typing; it's more just the fact that I'm like, wow, look at all these letters. That's impressive. Well,
Yeah, you have to try and absorb letters in whilst sending letters out.
that's right. That's right.
And yeah, well done, Big D, on new computer. New computers are liberating.
Whoa, Big
Or
D is a
JJ
new
Rabbit.
computer.
Yeah, bought a
I need
computer
it.
so he doesn't have to do everything on his telephone.
I need a new computer. I have been breaking this one bit by bit.
Not a bad way to do it.
Well, I had to order a new power supply because this one keeps taking a dump every
Cool.
once in a while.
Uh-huh.
It's like, hey, you're using too much power.
Yeah, I take it you upgraded and went to a higher wattage and more outputs or something.
Yeah, it's down here in a box. I haven't installed it yet. So we're living on the edge, you know. Living on the
Well,
edge.
I had an internet crash here like 10 minutes before start time.
Ooh,
So yeah,
the
thankfully I restarted the modem and it came back up about 2 minutes from start time. So we just snuck in. Jojo Rabbit, that's on Netflix, I think, isn't it? I've often scrolled past that. It's got a very interesting poster, so I've wondered what it might be like. Tropico, how's it going?
It's quite
Look at these
cute.
chicken masalas. It's quite cute.
Hmm.
What's it about?
It's a little bit sad. It's about this kid who has Hitler is his imaginary friend.
Hitler is his imaginary friend.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Was it good?
Yeah, it was it was good actually. It was quite cute, and I got some tears, in the end. So.
That's
Yeah.
what you expect.
I saw the making of it, but I haven't seen it yet.
I said hi to Tropico. GRB, g'day, mate. New local Austin. Hi there. Xanadu do. Hi, Xanadu.
But you enjoyed it, though, huh?
Rock.
Oh,
Alyssa.
sorry. Words.
Just because you cry or weep
Words.
doesn't doesn't mean that you don't enjoy it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's emotional, right?
Yeah, it's good. Moving movies,
something-
good.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I was in tears the last 2 episodes of Bad Batch on multiple occasions.
Were you?
That doesn't-
You weren't crying, really?
Yeah, I tear up I've teared up at The Simpsons before, you know.
Nothing
New
bad happened.
stories.
Nothing bad happened at the end, though.
Oh no, it's just I get emotionally moved at a deep level. Generally,
Right.
it's
When
it's,
those Kaminoans' homes got destroyed.
generally I think it's predominantly music-based. The music combined with the emotions that the characters are feeling generally sends me into a tizzy.
Well, that's true. Good sound design does that.
Yeah, it's what it helps, what it's for. Alley Cat, hello. Did I miss anyone? Alyssa Bentley, I think I said hi to you, but have another one. BJ, how's it going?
I gotta
Stephen
admit,
P.
good sound design is
Crucial.
it's crucial. It brings me in. Who are you
Yeah.
saying hi to? Who'd you say hi to?
BJ. Stephen P. also. I don't know. How come nobody has told me or forced me to go and look at Stephen P. 2003's YouTube channel?
Extravaganza? Is it any good?
It is good. It's bloody good. There was multiple. I've gone through and watched not all of his videos, but multiple of his videos, and there's quite a few piss your pants laughing kind of moments. Stephen P. does awesome combinations of fish videos and makes a song out of it.
Aquartics?
Awkwardix, yes, that's him.
He comes into my chat, and I love his commentary, but I didn't realize he had a YouTube channel. Or
Yeah, nor
or
had
they
I.
had a YouTube channel.
I don't know
I'm
where
going to
I was.
subscribe to it.
Yeah,
I'm going to
good
subscribe
idea.
to it. I subscribed to it just now.
We should
On your
push more
recommendation.
people.
On
We
your
should push
recommendation.
more-
If it
more.
sucks, I'm holding you accountable, Blacky. It's
I'll
your
take
bad.
that because I don't really think that you'll find that it sucks
Okay. Well, that's good.
because
then.
it's its suck level doesn't even approach the scale. G'day,
I mean,
Geek Boy.
I pushed the free subscribe button. So look, I might be out a whole lot here. You know, that's all I'm saying.
You know, a slight bit of wear on your index finger.
Yeah. Here you go. To those of you that aren't subscribed, there's the hot link action in the chat. Click it and then go subscribe. What is he? He's only at 511. We got to get over 1,000. Come on. There's like 1,000 people watching this show, right?
Easy 1,000.
Get on it, you bums. What are you doing?
Lonnie, hello. How are you? I'll just try and smash through the rest of these hellos because it's lots of it. Is people saying hello to each other. West Fish Tanks, g'day.
Well, Stephen P says there's no takebacks, but I could just delete my channel. How about that? How you like them apples?
I guess that could be considered a take back.
Yeah, I'm gonna
yeah,
restart. I'm gonna restart my YouTube as Joel's Fart Tanks, or maybe
I hope you back it up with tanks full of farts. That would be an impressive channel.
farting. My daughter earlier, she was yelling in the bathroom. Like she was not screaming, but like yelling from the bathroom a message that was fairly indecipherable. Both myself and her mother were like, "Those are English words. Don't really know what she's saying." So finally, I went over there. Like, what are you yelling about? He goes, "I pooped, and my butt doesn't have a rash." And then she stood up and showed me her butt. And I have it all on film because I started recording. And it's the funniest thing, which I could never really put on the internet, but I'm definitely saving that video for when she's graduating high school.
Yeah, 21st.
Or whatever.
That's something they'd play at a person's 21st birthday party. or
That's right.
graduation in front of all of her friends would be awesome.
If she gets married early, that's going to be the theme of the wedding, basically, is what I'm saying. You know?
Rash-free pooping.
And I
Oh,
don't
well.
have a rash on my butt.
Well, congratulations to Olivia. Was that one of her firsts that she'll likely remember for the rest of her life?
Yeah, probably. Well, I'm just saying, hey, man, we have 0 butt rashes here in this house right now. That's what I'm saying. We have a 0 count butt rash, which is good. You know, it feels like a good solid number you're supposed to put up there as far as the butt rashes go. And we're down to 0.
Nice. Let's keep it that way, Oskin household.
Should be good.
I think I said hi to Alley Cat, GRB. I defo did. New local Austin. Yes, new local Austin likes a bit of Stephen P as well. No problem, Stephen P. I would have shouted you out ages ago if I knew you had quality good stuff on your channel. Rico, how's it going?
Big D Smoke has a good question here. Is anyone else a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format? And I will say yes. I will concur. One of the weird things is that I rarely ever select those videos or those movies. Films, the theater films. They're not normally on my recommended, but I always do appreciate some. Like, what was that? I can't remember the name of it, but there was like this German thriller that got recommended on Netflix, and that was just strange and dark and slow moving, and it was really good. I can't remember the name of it though. I don't remember.
Is it
Maddie
called
Moore.
Dark?
Was it called Dark? It might have been called Dark. Was it called Dark?
Maybe. That sounds familiar to a show I've seen that's called Dark.
Well, that's how you know it's going to be dark. It's named that. So there you go. Doing a
The
solid.
titular Dark. How are you, Maddie Moore? Long time no speak.
I did watch the new Shining. Have you seen the new Shining yet?
Did they make a new one of those?
Another new one? Is it just
There's a
recent?
follow-up. I don't know how new it is. I mean, we had it on the DVD.
I think they did like a made-for-TV one, probably late 90s, early 2000s. But
this one's with Obi-Wan Kenobi's in it.
Oh,
Obi-Wan
Interesting.
Kenobi's the lead.
interesting. Might
Yeah.
have to have a look at that.
I kept telling, I was like, you could solve this if you just would get the lightsaber out of retirement, do some flips and stuff, and you could resolve all of these problems very rapidly.
Bit of a
He was
crossover.
refusing to do some flips and stuff. I think he was in cave form, Very,
Yeah, right.
he's like, I swore
Very-
off the saber.
Yeah, even for spiritual events.
And they kept saying that he was doing the shining thing, but we know, excuse me, that's the Force. We know.
These aren't the spirits you're looking for.
That's right. These aren't the ghosts.
Zen Ginger, hello there. How are you? BJ Palmer slinging her congrats out to the Oskin family for their rash-free buttocks. Oh, and Lonnie is as well. They're all celebrating the rash-free buttocks today.
Old Obi-Wan or new fake Obi-Wan?
Who's asking that?
Xanadu.
Yeah, I don't appreciate dissing a Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. He's just as much Obi-Wan as Alec Guinness was.
Of Train Spotting fame. I mean, come on. Actually, I think I liked him most in Moulin Rouge.
I still have not seen that film.
You haven't seen it? It's
Neither
bizarre.
have I.
Nah.
It's lots of singing and Dancy Man stuff. It's good. You'd like it.
Dancy Man stuff. Yeah.
It's Dancy Man. It's singing. It's very artsy fartsy. It's good. I think you guys would like it. I don't know. It's a little over the top, but whatever.
What I wonder is
if you're feeling in the mood for some flamboyance, it satiates that need.
Those moods come and go. The desire for flamboyance. But what I want to know is if Ewan McGregor ever played Oliver Oliver Twist's Fagin, would he do his Obi-Wan voice? Because I'm not sure if people are familiar, but Alec Guinness was renowned for his portrayal of Fagin in a cinematic version of Oliver Twist.
Is that what he was famous for?
Well, he was been famous in the movies since the 40s.
Well, I think was that the jump off? Was that like the real jump off?
Probably not.
No. Oh.
I think he would have been quite well known before he portrayed Fagin. Fagin.
I'm interested. I'm interested in checking it out if that's even something that exists. Is that on Netflix?
Oh, I don't know. It's just a frequent crossword clue. that's
It's a
where I
weird
get
accumulation of letters. Let's see.
That's where I get
Oliver
most of
Twist.
my life information from crosswords.
The movie. Hold on, here we go.
Hello,
Oliver
Mystery
Twist.
Snail Gardens.
Oliver Twist, the full movie, 1922.
What?
Oliver Twist, 1948. Oliver Twist, 2005.
Yeah, I'd say I'd be going.
Oh
with
Lord,
the
they've made
48
this
one.
movie a million times. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is it? It's the stage thing, right? It's a stage. It's a play, right?
Well, it was
There's no
originally.
musical.
Yeah, but I think Alec Guinness played it in the cinema, didn't he? Or
did
am I
he?
wrong?
Okay, let's see the one with Alec Guinness. With Alec Guinness.
G'day, Ian. I'm going well, thanks, mate.
Okay, he was in the 1948 one version.
I thought that would have been his prime era. Because I think his first movie was mid 40s or something. So maybe it was his maybe it was his first role that shot him to fame.
Following his hold on. Wait. What? What? Huh? Okay, so we have to figure out like where Wikipedia is not helping at all. But we need the one with that cover on it. The one with it. Oh, maybe IMDb can help us out here.
Probably more sensible to go for IMDb for film stuff than Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, you know.
Yeah, well, haven't Google cottoned onto that and done a Googlepedia?
I don't know.
Since,
I bet if you
Wikipedia's
look up Googlepedia, it probably just redirects you to Google.
Possibly. But, those Wikipedia people are just always begging for cash nowadays.
Who is? The Wikipedia. Yeah, it's always like, hey, we're funded by donations. Give us some money. It's all like, nope, not going to be doing that today.
Yeah, most of your work is also done by the general public, so
right.
Who are you paying? Service?
Yeah, exactly. Who is getting paid here? That's what I want to know.
Probably just the tea lady that brings tea and crumpets around to the board of directors.
It's not being helpful. This is not being helpful.
Well, I'm certainly glad I took us down this wormhole then.
Yeah, I know. I just it seems like there's 100 different versions of the Oliver Twist. Oh wait, here's the 1948 one.
Well, that's kind of goes down my alley as well. That we're probably due for.
Okay,
a new
here we
one.
go. You can buy the DVD on eBay, and then it seems to have Korean all over the cover, so it's probably a stolen copy. Not to say that they do that in Korea, but my buddy used to go over to Korea and he would come home with a duffel bag full of ripped DVDs of stuff. So they do that, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Which was always funny because there would be Korean subtitles overlaid over the English version of the movie.
Yeah, and you can't switch them off either.
And you can't turn them off because it's playing in the movie theater,
Yeah.
Legit, somebody in there with a camcorder. It's mind-bending.
And I can't believe that people actually went for that shit that they used to do, where they'd film it and then they'd go and put it onto a disc, this dodgy filmed version, and people would buy it and still
People
sit
would buy
through
it.
it and watch it and say that they enjoyed the full experience of the film.
Some guy standing up, walking in front of the
Yeah.
camera, people coughing, laughing.
I just even back in the day, desperate to see a particular movie, and someone bought me a ripped copy like that, I just couldn't do it. It was just too much of a debacle to try and sit through for 90 minutes plus.
I was poor, and I always worked when the movie theaters were open, so I'm not saying I ever partook. I'm just saying I've seen some versions like that. That's all I'm saying.
No, this is Scungy did this for my, can't remember whether it was a Christmas present or birthday. She made me a picture of Vader in her style, and then
For
I
your
chucked it on
62nd birthday.
something like that, or either that or my 62nd Christmas. So I chucked it on some t-shirts. I think you can still get it on Teespring in the US, but you can't get it on, what's the one I use? I can't even remember now.
Red Balloon? Red Ball?
Red Bubble.
Red
Thank
Bubble.
you.
I knew it was red
Yeah.
something.
I never put that on anywhere.
No, I did. You made the picture, love.
For your birthday.
Birthday it was. There we go. But yeah, Redbubble took it down about 2 days after it went up for sale, saying that it infringed on someone else's intellectual property.
Right.
But yeah, apparently it's still up on Teespring, not taken down. So
The thing is, like, I own so many. Thing is, like, I own so many shirts with a print on the front of them, but I never wear them. It's kind of sad.
I really
So
want to
that-
order some of my own shirts, but I can't afford.
I'm probably just gonna cut them out and frame them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
You're
that's
all
something.
right.
That's something that I've actually got a few things like of my kids. Like most of the stuff, you try and pass on to somebody, but there were just some things that were like really special things that they wore that I couldn't bring myself to part with. But then I was like, well, otherwise I'd just sit in a drawer for the rest of eternity. So I've got them there to do something like that with. Either going to like frame them, or I had one I wanted to turn into a cushion.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if I own any of my own shirts. I don't know if I do or not. To be honest with you, I don't even know. Xanadudu says back when theaters were open. It's sad. Theaters are open again. At least in a lot of the U.S. They are open. Shang-Chi opened this weekend. It was the biggest Labor Day opening of all time. Of all time. It was the biggest Labor Day box office of all time. I think they did 97 million in the U.S. in one weekend.
And that's just the US. Is it going to go nuts when it opens in the Asian markets as well?
I would expect it. It pushed up a movie that you and I wanted to see. I mean, I want to see Shang-Chi, but I'm not like totally freaked out to go into the theater. We had 2 friends of the family die of COVID today on one day. So it's kind of like, oh, yeah, that's still a bummer situation. So maybe we'll just stay home.
Yeah.
Because Vicky and I love going to see the movies, and we would normally go on like Sunday morning. Because we have to get a babysitter now, And plus, we like going to the early matinee like that, because then you can do a bunch of other stuff in the day too. Still,
Yeah. Sets the day up good.
you can go to the 7:10 a.m. showing of a movie. It's pretty wild.
That's an early start, isn't it?
It's an early start, but we would try to go to the 8:30. That's better. So you can have some coffee and fart a lot into your tank. Get it ready.
Rico says in the 80s, his roommate's parents lived in Saudi. Every time he went, he came home with bags of ripped cassettes and the worst attempt at lyrics ever. was a blast to get old and read the lyrics. As in the liner notes of the cassette, their attempts at translated words and stuff, or even just hearing the right words.
Rarely would happen.
That could have been an alternative regime for our misheard lyrics segment that we used to do so many years ago. Actually, someone had a Facebook. One of my old friends had a Facebook post the other day with some really good misheard lyrics, but I can't remember what they were, so it was kind of useless me telling you that. Yeah. What did we have? 1,202 new cases registered in New South Wales overnight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just keeps growing and growing, and we're having protests all around the place for the bloody protesting the lockdown laws and rules and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People can just be so silly.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of unvaccinated people in the U.S. dying of COVID still. So it's pretty much a shame. I mean, they were talking about it. Whatever press conference they were talking about how there's still like 70 to 75 million adult Americans that are just not vaccinated just because they don't want to, basically.
What was that, Tin?
Well, it's an alcoholic beverage.
Are you not promoting the brand? You're choosing not to.
Yeah, I don't even know if it has a brand.
I'm just
Like generic can. It's just generic can of alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, no, it's ginger beer.
Right.
It says hard ginger beer, but it's pretty soft.
I don't know. It's not a slap in the face or nothing. It's just
like all these fancy beer brands and stuff. They're going for irony. They say it's hard, but it's actually quite delicate.
It's quite soft.
So yeah, I don't know. I just thought I would give it a try because I wasn't sure if I was up for the power of espresso martini. Plus, it's hard to stop at one, but like you have to stop at some point.
Oh, tell me it's from a shoe, Alley Cat. Alley Cat's currently munching on popcorn and having some Baileys. I'm fairly certain that it's quite standard worldwide nowadays that you only drink Baileys from a shoe.
Is that the
G'day,
deal?
Alex.
I've been sober for so long, I don't even know what you morons out there are doing these days.
Yeah, you say you've never drunk Baileys from a shoe?
I don't believe so. I mean, if I have, I don't remember. And I don't doubt that it's probably been brought up, I guess.
I think, did I do it one time? Did I do it out of my rubber slippers?
You did do it out of your rubber slippers.
I thought I'd had a crack at Baileys from a shoe. So next time old Greg asks me, I can say, "Yes, Greg, I have."
Out of your Crocs?
Oh no, they're Birkenstocks.
Oh, they're Birkies. Okay, I can respect that.
Chef and shoes, mate. They're me chef shoes. I've got to wear them when I cook dinners and stuff.
That's right.
I can't respect anyone drinking from a shoe. I just can't.
What if you just won the Stanley Cup?
No respect.
What if you won the Rugby Cup? I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine, but the shoe drinking cancels it out.
Oh. Well, not everybody can get their hands on the Rugby Cup, whatever it's called. What's the name of it? It's probably like the...
Which
probably
one?
Like the...
Just drink it out of the bottle.
What is it? Like the...
There's the Bledisloe Cup.
The Bledisloe?
Fought for between Australia and New Zealand in rugby union.
Aren't the New Zealanders the All Blacks?
The All Blacks.
So you should be a fan of the Kiwi then, right?
I've always, especially in the 1990s when I was actually playing rugby union myself, I was a big fan of the All Blacks.
All right.
They were the most amazing rugby team on the planet for about 10 or 20 years. They were just unbeatable, big, brutal dudes. And, normally on a rugby field, you have some smaller dudes out on the wings and in your centres. And
Right.
they just had these massive, big Maori or Polynesian dudes that could run super fast and, weighed 110 kilos.
Yeah, they had both. They had size and speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And,
like the NFL, You'd be like, "Oh, that guy, he's like 6 foot. He's like 6'5". He's like 265." And you'd be like, "Well, he's probably pretty slow." Runs the
runs
40
the
meters in
111.
where he runs like the 40 meter in like 4 seconds or whatever, and you're like, "Oh, yeah, it's like a different human. I don't know what that is." I'd be like walking up to go do a run now and pull my hamstring,
Yeah, well, I think I guess because they get lots of balance in their gym workouts and stuff, and they're doing enough leg days that they get that burst. They can hit that full speed mode in a matter of meters and be full pelt for a good 50 or 60 meters before they run out of puff. Oh yeah, there we go. The Webb Ellis Cup. Thanks, GRB. That's the World Rugby Cup.
The Webb Ellis. That's right. The Webb Ellis. Do you guys have Labor Day down there? Because yesterday was Labor Day for us.
We do. We have ours on May the 1st, May Day.
Oh, you guys have the May Day one. We just
But is it
we just light dumpsters on fire and stuff for May Day.
Is it
Is it
celebrating
even-
the same thing?
What's that?
Is it for the same thing? Is that what you were going to ask, Scungy?
No, I just don't even. It's not even like a thing here, though, is it? Like, there may be a day that's called Labor Day, but it's not like anyone does anything. There's no dumpster fires.
No, it doesn't seem to be
Celebrating
like that.
or.
There has been, because it's as far as I understand, in Australia, it's something to do with union labour and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you used to get these big marches and stuff of unionists, and they'd march the streets for an hour and then go to the pub and get smashed for the rest of the day. But
When was that?
like I can remember when I lived in Brisbane that I had a friend of mine who was a staunch union guy, and he'd always go on the Labor Day march and hit the pubs afterwards.
There you go. I've never heard of anything ever happening on.
Yeah,
Labor Day.
I think I wouldn't have either, because it's not like it hits the news or anything when they have the marches and whatnot. We don't get inundated with Labor Day's coming, get your bloody marching shoes ready or any of that stuff.
Get your sneakers ready. Oh, nobody marches here on Labor Day. No, everybody just barbecues. Everybody just barbecues and gets fatter. That's it.
That's probably more appropriate here nowadays as well. But yeah, it does seem to like as it's coming up in the US, even down here, you tend to hear a lot about it. So it must have still more of a meaning in your neck of the woods than ours.
Well, in the U.S., because ours is the first Monday of September, it's basically the end of summer.
So get all of your shindigging in now before it gets too chilly.
Well, because the kids in the U.S. have the summertime off from school.
Yeah.
So you have like 2.5 months off for summertime from school, and then Labor Day is the last day, and then they start back on school on that Tuesday.
And is there like is there other holidays, or is it once your summer holidays over, your school year is straight through?
Well, there's the winter holiday for like Christmas and the end of the year, which is like 2 weeks long.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's spring break, which is 1 week long. But yeah.
Yeah,
it's pretty much that whole period of time.
Well, the way they break it up down here is we have 6 weeks holiday for the Christmas period, which is also our summer. And
That's
then
right.
3 other breaks between school terms of generally 10 days or 2 weeks each,
Right.
depending
It's
on
2
where
weeks.
they fall.
Well,
2 weeks.
So, one of the urban myths or the old wives' tales in the United States is that, the kids would have to go home from school because they would have to help the farmers out during the summertime. And I would like to dispel that myth with every person that's watching this show right now. It has nothing to do with farms, has nothing to do with farmers, and has nothing to do with kids doing stuff on the farm. No. Early public schools in the United States really only existed in big city areas like New York City. And I will tell you, during the summer months, New York City is incredibly hot. Even now, it's hot during the summer in New York. And they didn't have air conditioning. They didn't have fans. They didn't have electricity. And the roads were covered in horse manure. And you can imagine how wildly uncomfortable it would be to be inside an incredibly hot and stinky city during the summer months. So guess who would leave during the summer months? Rich people. Rich people would take their kids and leave. And the early public schools in the United States had a lot to do with, are the rich kids here? Because somebody's getting paid if the rich kids are here. Oh no, the rich kids are gone. No one is getting paid. You poor people, get out of here. So that's why the summer off tradition began, because opulent people took their kids out of school and decided they would just be gone instead of being uncomfortable in the hot, stinky manure cities of the good old days.
Interesting. G'day, Blake. How's it going?
As they like to say, make America great again. So just spray feces everywhere, I guess. I don't know.
There's an interesting theme going on in the chat about drinks that people either miss or all you've got to do is think about it and it makes you feel sick. You guys got any of them?
Do I have any of that?
Yeah, like if there's a particular drink that you might have had a rough night on when you were younger and now you can't even look at it straight.
I don't know. I'm an alcoholic. You can name all of them, and I probably would say that.
Wrong person to ask, I guess. Scungy.
I mean, I'm in recovery, so I've been sober for a long time. But yeah, you could pretty much name all of them, and I could tell you a story about them. But Scungy, is there one that grosses you out?
Well, the drink that grosses me out is Sambuca. But I haven't really had. I mean, I did have it one night as probably about 15 years old, where we did drink flaming Sambucas. But I only had a couple, so it's not enough to put me off. But one of my favorite drinks is tequila, and I won't be drinking it again for the foreseeable future. I thought I was gonna die.
Sambuca, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that either. I
don't know. I was always the guy that would face down, pass out, incredibly intoxicated, and then probably after a short period of time, I'd wake up and vomit a whole bunch and go back to partying.
Yeah, I've been that guy.
I'll be like, oh, I just had to puke a whole bunch. There's more room now. Woo!
It's called a reboot. A repuke. No, reboot is better.
Reboot's better.
Puke then.
Yeah, it's like a reboot.
But yeah, I'm fairly certain that all of any version of aniseed liqueur or liquor, whether it be ouzo or Sambuca or any of them, I don't think I've ever drunk it and not spewed it up. I don't think it likes being in my body.
What about limoncello?
Pretty foul. I've never had that.
Nor have I.
What about banana liqueur?
Never.
No, I've stayed away from lots of liqueurs. Southern Comfort makes me gross out, and Midori I find quite sickening.
Right.
You know what? I had a drink once that my friend / kind of stepbrother convinced me to have at a bar. It's called a cement mixer.
Oh yeah, that
And
is
that was
that's
that
what
was
you give
pretty
people on
wrong.
That's what you give people on their 21st birthday.
Is that like? Has it got something in it that gives it a sludge texture, or do they just
it
grind?
curdles.
Yeah, it curdles, so it's like chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's highly unpleasant.
I've drinking many barrels of Jameson in my day.
Many barrels.
Yeah, I used to buy it by the what? I don't know what size that is in liters, but it's like no, that's what it's a 3-liter jug, is what it is. So it's not quite a gallon, but or wait, it's more than a gallon or something. I don't know. It's the 3-liter jug. It's huge. It's for bars. I used to buy one of those. I used to buy one of those every day.
Those when you get to that size, don't they put the they put the label on upside down? Yeah, because it generally goes into a pourer.
Yep. I had a liquor license. I had somebody else's liquor license that I would buy liquor at the
Wholesale
liquor
price.
store, tax free, baby.
Yeah, right. G'day, Cody. You can't drink hot damn anymore. What's hot damn? Lime and Bailey's. Oh, that sounds a bit hideous, Alex. Or is that's your one? Is it, Alex? That one that makes you Or is that what the cement mixer is? Lime in your Bailey's to curdle it with the acid of the lime, right? Oof. Might have to give that a go now that it sounds hideous.
Yeah.
What's RA, Rico? I only stop drinking because the RA makes me feel like shit most days anyways. So when I do have a good day, I don't want to waste it.
I'm thinking rheumatoid arthritis would be my guess.
No, I would go with that. God, is there cheap versions of Fireball? Cinnamon whiskey. I don't mind a bit of Fireball. I've had that on a few occasions.
I've never had it, but what I found really revolting is like the cinnamon lollies where they're like the really hot, spicy cinnamon. Because like I don't know, they're enough to make me want to gag. So I've never wanted to try the Fireball because I don't really get the hot cinnamon thing. I don't find that nice.
You know, I can't
Yeah, I don't know.
even
Everybody
say-
got like super. I remember everybody getting like super zazzed about Fireball, and I was like, I don't under. There's not very much liquor in this. What's the point? Just
Yeah.
it's like if I'm gonna eat candy and get drunk, I might as well just eat candy and get drunk, right?
Yeah, I can. I remember going to a party on the Gold Coast, and everyone was super zazzed, like you say. I choose your words advisedly about doing Fireball shots.
Whoa!
And I was expecting some chilly, crazy, hot nonsense going down my neck, but no.
Right.
It was just like doing a shot of some tame, sweet liqueur.
Pretty much.
But I didn't find its taste appalling or anything.
I
was
mean, it
quite
wasn't
nice.
like
I'd
it
probably
wasn't
do
like
it again.
awful. It wasn't awful. It was always just like kind of a waste of money, really, at the bar. You know.
That's a really good segue too. That you say awful, because I cooked some liver for dinner on Monday night,
And it was awful.
I actually didn't mind it. Sarah didn't enjoy the smell of it in my kitchen.
Liver and onions.
Yes, liver, onions, and gravy. I was going to serve it with a mash of potato, pumpkin, and sweet potato, but I realized I had no potatoes, so I just did it on toast. And I think I even said to Sarah, the more pieces of liver that you eat, the better it gets.
I think the more you eat, the better it gets. Yeah, I mean, you got to get. I feel like liver and onions is one of those things that you got to cook like in another outside or something. You know what I mean?
I think that sounds good.
The funk will throw you off. You know,
after that experience, I tend to agree that might have to occur. I do have an outside cooker here. Actually, it belongs to Scungy, so that might definitely be a thing. And then the following night, when I was using the same fry pan, I was still getting the fragrance of liver out of the fry pan, even though I gave it a real good wash.
Properly seasoned.
Very.
Nice. Do you have any good cast iron?
No, I currently use I do have a cast iron fry pan, but it's out in the shed and it needs a really good scrubbing to get some of the surface rust and that off it. I wouldn't mind using that for some steaks. But currently I'm using a I don't know what they call it, rock coat or something, one of those non-stick ones that's not Teflon covered.
Oh yeah.
Scungy bought it.
I just eat the Teflon. Like, who cares? We're all gonna die.
Well, the problem with Teflon, I find, is that not everyone, like if you share your pans with other people, not everyone knows that you shouldn't use scrapey metal things on Teflon, and then you end up ingesting small particles of Teflon.
Just scratching it up.
Yeah. But I kind of figure with this, is it called rock coat Scungy? I don't remember what it was called.
I don't know, a stone something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think
stonewares.
Yeah, it's got no coating of stuff, so even if it does get scratched up, I assume you're not ingesting some harmful man-made product. You're probably just ingesting some form of natural element of rock or metal.
Oh my God, folks, it's the kiwi. The kiwis have arrived.
G'day, Joel 2.0.
I believe that's 22% of New Zealand's population has just arrived to the chat.
He's in the house, yeah.
How do you get 22% out of one man? You're going to have to figure that out for yourselves.
Do the maths, people. La Crusette. They sound fancy, Stephen. Blake says I've ingested worse than a bit of Teflon.
True. That's just true.
I wonder.
I don't even have any verifiable evidence to back that up. It just is known to be true.
That intrigues me now, actually. I'd like to wonder all of the things that I've ingested that are worse than Teflon. Probably aluminium from old saucepans. I'm glad we don't use those anymore.
That's bad news.
Yeah,
oh my God, I have a message from Blacky. I'm gonna delete it. There we go.
Good old.
I got a message from you. I just deleted it though. What was it?
What?
I don't know. You sent me a message, but I deleted it.
When did I send you a message?
I don't know. Just at some point in time.
The last message I sent you was the link to this stream. And then the last message before that was last week's link.
Yeah, I deleted that.
We went a whole week without talking. Crikey.
That's ridiculous. I don't like that. It was a holiday, though, so.
Good excuse. You know. G'day, Bomber Steve. How are you, mate?
I'm getting so excited for Dune to come out, dude. I know you're not like a huge fan or anything, but
I'm getting a bit keyed up for it as well.
I'm excited.
I read an article the other day that because the big film reviewers around the world have got their preliminary copies and are starting to, put out their 2 cents or so on the film.
Mhm.
So that was sort of lifts up the excitement a little bit that that it's coming and it'll be here soon. And most of what I read seemed to toilet on the original one a bit. The one with Sting in it, and who is the other dude?
Well,
Jeff something.
here's the deal. I know that a lot of people get like really kind of shitty on the original Dune.
I really enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. It was a monumental undertaking. You really got to kind of take yourself out of the critical mode. I mean, it was made like 43 years ago or 40 years ago. I don't. When was that made?
Like early
Dune.
80s, maybe mid
Oh,
80s, maybe.
sorry. It was made in 1984 when it was Orwellian.
Oh, that's right. Bloody Coleman McLaughlin was in it too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean it's David Lynch. I mean,
That was probably when David Lynch and Cole McLaughlin started being boyfriends.
yeah, pretty much. I think it's really good. I think it's really fairly accurate to the source material. The director's cut is like 4 hours long, I think. Isn't that how long it is? Something crazy like that.
Yeah, something huge. Because I think when they broke it down for TV and made it into 2, I think.
I think they just cut out a bunch of stuff for the TV version.
Right.
So, I mean, if you watch the director's cut, it's pretty accurate to the source material. Like, it's not that far off. It doesn't take a whole lot of liberties other than, like, aging the character, like Kyle McLaughlin. What's his name? Kyle McLaughlin, whatever the hell his name is. Like, he doesn't age in it, I don't think. Does he age? I think he just is. Like,
it's been a long time since I've seen
it. It's like one of those things where he's like 18 or 35. You don't really know, kind of thing. Which they did that in the 80s all the time, Like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, like everybody was 28 years old playing high school students,
And that's the trend for the next 20 years.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
high schoolers must look mid-20s.
Yeah, it's like 21 Jump Street, but everybody's 28.
So essentially what we're hoping for is that this new version is still true to the... Who was it? Frank Herbert?
Yeah. Is that right? Frank Herbert? I think that's right. So I'm interested to see how this goes because, like, a lot of what I've seen from the preview or the trailer or whatever you want to call it, it looks like it's not going to be the full first book. And they kept saying that, like, we might make the second part or something, which I don't know. I don't know how you could possibly go into making that and being like, well, I don't know if we're going to do the whole first book. We'll see if this one is popular or not. It doesn't make any sense to me. My guess would be they've already filmed everything for the 2 movies, right? They're just holding off on, or they're just going to be editing, the second part while the first one comes out or whatever, Because as we know from them, like, re-editing, the re-edit for... God, I can't remember what it is now. The DC movie...
That long, bloody 4 hours.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder.
The Zack Snyder recut, that's what it is. That took $70 million to re-edit and add some reshoots and a couple other things. But so I think that gives you an idea with, like, editing Dune Part 2 or whatever. And if the first part flops, they could probably save $50 million or whatever and just be like, oh, no, we just, never mind.
G'day, Crystal. Bloody hell, what was that Zack Snyder movie called? I've already disowned it and forgotten it from my memory.
It was like DC superheroes fighting. It was the DC heroes fight McFight movie, right?
Fighty McFights.
I think it was Fighty McFights with the DC guys, like Superman. and Patrick Bateman. Or is it Bateman? Is that how you say
No.
it?
No, it wasn't Patrick Bateman because it was
Bate-
Ben Affleck.
It's Bateman. Bateman. Right? Patrick Bateman? Isn't that right? He's the guy with the cape and he's got the all black suit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
no,
That guy, Patrick Bateman. I think that's his
no.
name.
Patrick Bateman was
Bryce.
Christian
Was it
Bale.
Bryce Bateman? It's Bryce Bateman, right? Or Bruce? No, it's Bruce Bateman.
I get you now. I see. I
Played
thought you were.
by Patrick. Patrick, the greasiest Bateman.
You so super confused me because I was getting the link to Patrick Bateman being the main character from American Psycho.
American Psycho. Yeah.
Played by Christian Bale.
Yes.
But Justice League's Batman, or Bateman, as you will, was Ben Affleck.
I'm very convinced that Christian Bale didn't play Batman. I'm very convinced that Patrick Bateman played Batman. I believe that he was still in Patrick Bateman character permanently.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
then-
mean, it's befitting
They
of the
hired
role.
they hired Patrick Bateman to play Batman, even though his ID says Christian Bale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he did that machine movie, the machine guy, I play with machines guy,
Yeah.
and he got
really
real
skinny.
He got real skinny, and then he was like, "I'm just gonna have to be Patrick Bateman forever now."
But he buffed up for Patrick Bateman, and then he buffed up even more for Bruce Wayne.
That's right.
But yeah,
He got
I'm kind of
extra
I'm
crazy.
leaning towards Patrick Bateman being my favorite Batman so far, apart from Adam West, of course.
Well, I would say,
Val Kilmer was okay. I didn't like Clooney as Batman.
see, the problem is like there wasn't a bunch of Batman that did multiple. Did Michael Keaton do 2?
Oh, actually, Michael Keaton was pretty good, wasn't he? Yeah, he
Michael
was a good
Keaton was
Batman.
good, but did he do 2 or just 1? Can't remember if there was 2 with Michael Keaton.
Was he in the very first one, the Batman?
Yeah, he was in the first one.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if he came back and did it again because I think it went Michael Keaton, then Val
Crap,
Kilmer,
I'm taller than Michael Keaton.
then
Man.
Clooney. I don't think he's a big
But
dude.
was the Batman in the one with the Joker in it?
Yeah,
The
first
original one?
Yeah, with Michelle Pfeiffer
Yeah.
and Prince doing the soundtrack. Yeah, that was Michael Keaton.
See, I can't remember. Did he only do the
and
one?
then he did the one with the penguin.
No, maybe he did 2. I think he did Batman and Batman Returns, right?
I
think so.
I thought Batman Returns was bloody Val Kilmer or Clooney. No, Kilmer. Because I'm sure it went Keating, Kilmer, Clooney.
Well, because it was Michael Keaton, because he did the first one in 1989, Batman, and then Batman Returns, and then he didn't do any after that.
Right.
Because the one with Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer was number 2, apparently. Batman Returns.
And that was Keaton as well.
Yeah. I think he did 2, but maybe he didn't do 3. Yeah, because Batman Forever was the next one.
But then
Which is the
who
Val
was
Kilmer
the
one.
Batman? Yeah, in that really shitty one with the Riddler and the
That's Val Kilmer.
that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Where Jim Carrey played the Riddler.
Yeah.
That
Which was
Val,
awful.
was it? Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Nicole Kidman is in that. Ugh. Gross.
Well, wow, you're absolutely on fire with your segues today.
How about them liver and gross onions?
You haven't led us to liver and onions this time, but Sarah and I have been watching a show that stars Nicole Kidman and also stars a property that she owns near us. G'day, Chewy. Yeah, there's a show that Sarah and I have been watching called 9 Perfect Strangers on the Amazon Prime.
Right.
I can honestly say when I first looked at the previews for it, I wasn't necessarily that intrigued by it. But
Uh-huh.
having now watched 5 episodes of it, they've got me by the jowls.
Uh-oh. Did you watch Clarkson's Farm yet?
No,
You should watch that. It's really good.
as in Jeremy Clarkson from the Top Gear boys.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
They did a whole season. So apparently, like a decade ago, I think he realized he had too much money. So he bought this giant farm in England. And there's been a guy who's been running it, and that guy retired. And so Clarkson was like, I'm taking the realms and bringing the TV crew with me.
He knows an opportunity when he smells one.
Yep. And do have to admit, it's pretty entertaining. It's a pretty entertaining season. It's pretty good.
I'll pop that on my list to watch. But yeah, if I was saying as we were watching this show, Nine Perfect Strangers, the other night,
Yeah.
I was sort of saying to Sarah, this really looks like this area. I wonder, was it filmed here? And then the next morning when I woke up and I was going through my news feed, and there was it's not really news. Like a lot of the shit that pops up in my news feed is not really news. It's just ads.
Right.
It says you can rent Nicole Kidman's, what did they call it? Health retreat in Byron Bay on Airbnb. So
Isn't Melissa McCarthy in that?
she is, and she like I'm not
I
necessarily
thought that was a
huge fan of.
movie.
No, it's a series.
Oh.
But yeah, she's really good in it. She's like she certainly has moments where they rely on her comedic element, but she does really well with the dramatic stuff as well, because she's got quite a bit of dramatic stuff to do in it.
All right. Yeah, her and her husband made that new Bob Ross documentary.
Bob Ross, see that painter guy?
Yeah, the painter.
Just smears and daubs, doesn't he? He doesn't really do proper stuff.
He does landscapes. Come on. It was the 80s, though, too. I mean, come on. Take it easy.
And yeah, I mean, obviously you're a huge fan of Nicole Kidman, so you'd probably enjoy seeing her do Russian accent, because she's Russian in it.
Is it even believable?
Yeah. Like I'm a little bit impartial to our Nicole, so I kind of enjoy her work. She's easy on the eyes and stuff, but no idea she owned property here. Well, I'm a big fan of gingers with blue eyes. I like it. That's a good look.
I don't like her. Something about her. I don't like her. She makes me go, ugh.
Well, she's a little bit, like, it's really hard to tell. We're only 5 episodes in, but she kind of
she's going to get beheaded by one of the crew members.
She has a kind of icky kind of facet to her personality, so we're a little bit unsure about her still. Not to be confused with
The Reservoir Dogs. Did you buy that for $20?
No, I pinched it off Sarah's sister.
Smart.
But
it's a great flick. It's a great flick made on like a $5 budget. Come on.
Yeah, brilliant movie.
Yep.
One of my sons has been going through he's into like old movie soundtracks and stuff, and he's got himself onto the Tarantino collection. So
I gotta say, Reservoir Dogs was always been one of my favorite. Well, I don't know if it's favorite, but it's in my top 50 or whatever films of all time. As a kid, I had a giant Reservoir Dogs poster on the wall.
G'day, Danny. There's a famous scene in it that I took the audio from, and it used to be my Windows opening sound when Windows started. Remember
Was it the ear singing?
the pre-heist scene where they're all discussing the colors?
Oh yeah.
And the old mate says something about, and it says, and pretty soon everyone's fighting over who wants to be Mr. Black.
That's right.
Because you know, I'm also known as Mr. Black, not just Dr. Black. So
Yeah,
it was quite a good one.
Before the doctorate.
Then I had that other one from The Simpsons as well, where the summer camp episode. It was Camp Krusty,
right?
And
my fire up sound. My fire up sound was the Army of Darkness, or no, not Army of Darkness. Evil Dead 2. What was the part? I think he was it? What was it? I think it was the part where he goes like, "I live again." I think it was from that. And then whenever you clicked on something and it failed, it would go groovy.
Yeah, Duke Nukem totally stole that, didn't he?
And then, of course, whenever what was it? Mega Mud would boot up. It would say, "This is my boomstick." It would do that one. You, what is it? It was like you. What is it? Like you primitive primates or whatever. It was like I forget what that was. What was that? It's my boomstick. Let me see if I can find it. This is my boomstick.
I'm gonna get my boomstick. I thought it was I'm gonna get my.
We might get a copyright claim here. Is my audio playing on your end?
I cannot hear it.
You can't hear it? Okay, good. I think I don't have it set to play through.
Did I say hi to Danny? G'day, Danny. If I didn't, have a second one. If I did. But yeah, for all those people, I mean, it's there, but I can't hear it still. I am old, though, and my ears.
I got it turned down. But there's that scene where in Army of Darkness where he's got the shotgun and he's doing the whole dissertation on like, this is my double barrel shotgun. It's the top of the line from S-Mart, you know. And he's like, oh, any of you primates as much it tries to touch me, you know. Oh, that guy is great. I love that guy.
What's his name? Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. Yeah, Bruce Campbell. The Bubba Hotep. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No.
Where it's, oh man, you should look up Bubba Hotep and watch that. You'll. That's an experience.
It really sounds familiar. Why does it sound familiar?
Because it's a crazy movie where he plays like an old Elvis impersonator who thinks he's Elvis. It's nuts. Hard to explain. Bubba Hotep is a very difficult movie to explain. I'm realizing that now.
Righto. That probably means it's something I would quite enjoy. And before I forget, for those out there who don't hate Nicole Kidman, have a bloody look at 9 Perfect Strangers because it's pretty good.
I mean, I'll probably watch it since you recommend it.
I'll give you the basic premise, shall I? It probably makes sense. It's a health retreat where mostly wealthy people are cherry-picked by the lady, Nicole, who runs her name's Marsha, actually, or Masha, but they call her Marsha. It's spelt Masha, but they call her Marsha. She runs this health retreat. She cherry-picks the guests, and it turns out she organizes the group of guests according to their personalities and stuff. So she has a plan in mind when she puts these people together, and she's treating them for, varying personal disorders that they might have. And then I think by about the 3rd episode, the guests at this retreat realize that they're being microdosed with psilocybin.
Oops.
without their knowledge. So there's this initial furor about it. They don't enjoy it very much, that they haven't been consulted on this. But then they realise that some good stuff's happening to them, so they might as well go along with it for the most part. But yeah, it's really, it's another one that's really hard to explain. G'day, Jenny. Because most of the show is just interpersonal dialogue between people. So it's a really dialogue heavy show, but it also just lures you in and you get wrapped by what's going on with these people's lives. It's really cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
Jen A. I like it a lot.
But yeah, there hasn't been a lot of watching going on by me since the cessation of Bad Batch. I mean, I watched the Formula One at the weekend. I haven't even been watching much cricket, and there's been plenty of cricket on.
Oh, lots of cricket? You've been watching lots of cricket.
No, I haven't. That's what I mean. There's a fair bit of cricket on, but normally that's one of my go-tos is I'll watch the cricket. But the only sport I've watched in the last few weeks has been, well, one Formula One race and one Formula One debacle.
What was the debacle?
The Belgium Grand Prix was appalling. It was
really?
Raining nonstop, and then they tried to make a race when it was pissing down rain on race day, and they did 3 laps behind the safety car, and then called it off and said that was a race, but we're only going to give half points.
What the hell?
But the weekend just gone by was pretty good. It was in the Netherlands, and Max Verstappen, being a Dutch boy, won it. And so it was 32 years or something since a Dutchman had actually won the Dutch Grand Prix.
Oh.
And there was lots of orange in the crowd, shall we say. But there always is at the Formula One. There's always seems to be a lot of orange. Those Dutch people must have a lot of money for airfares. I suppose Dutch people can drive from the Netherlands to Belgium.
Yep.
And where was the previous one? No, actually, Belgium was the first one back after their 4-week break for summer, and they come back to a bloody rainy, terrible, stupid non-race.
Isn't the next one in Portland or something like that? Didn't we look that up? I think we looked that up last week.
We did, yeah. But I think the next one is actually in the Netherlands again at a different track.
When is that?
But it's
official
certainly
website of the Grand Prix of Portland. Yeah, I don't know. Who's in it?
Who's in it?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
It's this coming weekend, the 11th through the 13th.
Is it really?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think like who is in it. What?
No, Italy's this weekend coming up.
Well, who? Who? That's what I'm saying. Like, who is in the Grand Prix of Portland that it starts in 2 days and 3 hours?
Unless it's Formula 2 or Formula 3 or one of the maybe Formula E, even the electric one. But we have Italy this weekend. Will
Power won the last one from Team Penske.
Yeah, that's isn't Penske NASCAR?
I don't know, man. I just know that there's a big race in Portland, and I'm not very far from Portland. So I'm wondering who's in it.
Not Formula One, because the Formula One USA that's coming up, I believe, is in Austin, Texas. And the next one's Italy for Formula One, and then Russia, and then Turkey, and then the US, which I'm fairly certain is Austin, Texas. Because they do have a New York one, which is a street circuit, but I have a strange feeling this one is Austin.
Oh, okay. So I think it's IndyCar is what it is.
Yeah, I think because Penske's an Indy driver, I believe.
Right, I think so.
And the Austin Grand Prix is October 24, I think I read.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 24th of October is.
Yeah, I don't know. I just heard there was a big race in Portland, and it didn't happen last year, and it was going to happen this year, and it looked like Formula One cars because they look like Formula One cars.
They do, yeah. And we've got a big change coming in Formula One. They've changed the cars, new designs, new engine loadouts and stuff. Because at the moment they're sort of they're hybrids. It's the hybrid era of Formula One where they've got an electrical component and a combustion engine component to the car. And
they're cheating.
I'm not 100% sure what they're changing to next year, whether it's more electric, whether it's still a balance of electric and combustion, or what's going on. But I tell you, that Formula E, the electric cars, that's some wild stuff because you don't hear any gear changing and stuff. You just hear this, meep, except that I can't even replicate the sound because it's even higher pitched than what I can do. Squealing of these vehicles, no gear changes, just zzz, zzz, zzz. It's quite cool to watch as well.
Weird. That is weird.
Yeah, they do, BJ. That's probably what BJ's saying, that Formula One cars this year have had so many problems. And that may have been, a slow trigger to the changes that they're bringing up next year. But I haven't, I know I did.
I don't know, man. I almost always could not really get into Formula One and that kind of stuff because you could kind of just do whatever for the longest time. I don't know what it's like now, but for the longest time, you could just do whatever with your car. Basically, it was like if you had a ton of money, your car was just faster and better than everyone else's car,
Yeah. Well, they've also, I don't know if it was this year or in the years past, but they have introduced a spending cap. So there's because obviously those, your companies like Mercedes and Ferrari and whatnot could come in and spend mega bucks making the most amazing cars.
Right.
But now they're limited to a certain amount of power units, a certain amount of gearboxes, and they can only spend so much money. So now there's all this debate coming out about, well, we had to spend all of this money, but the reason was that this other team caused us to crash. That shouldn't count into our, our salary cap or spending cap, whatever you want to call it.
Right. Well, I mean, it's the thing is that, the thing is one of the things that I find interesting, with NASCAR is that all the cars are basically the same or you get disqualified, mainly because they figured out a long time ago that people would cheat with the car. You know what I mean? Is they would do all these modifications to the car and the car would just be so much better. What was that guy? Hold on. NASCAR 5/6 of a car. Let me see if I can't find this. There was a guy.
Oh, me too, but BJ, that would be great fun, swinging a few laps around the Nürburgring.
I can't remember who it is, but somebody in the past, I forget
Is
who
it Richard
was.
Petty? I think Ty Hunsick is suggesting that it might be Richard Petty.
No, it's not Richard Petty. Richard Petty won a bunch, but I can't find racing history. This might be it. Fred Lorzen, maybe? I don't know. It would take me a minute to look it up. I thought it would have been able to find it a lot easier. Somebody back in, I think it was in the 60s. Somebody built their NASCAR, but they built it 5/6 of the size.
No, interesting.
So what's that?
That's an interesting take.
Yeah, they made it look exactly the same, but it was like 1/6 of the size smaller. And so it won all the races because it weighed so much less, but it still had the same motor and drivetrain and everything in it. And you had a lot less weight on those skinny old tires back then and stuff. And it just was so much faster, and it could run longer on the track because of how much less it weighed. And then somebody figured it out because they like measured the car. They went like, wait a minute, this isn't stock. This isn't the stock size. But I forget who it was. It was a guy that smoked a bunch of cigars. Was the guy who did it. It might even have been in the 50s, but I think it was the 60s. But right now it's just bringing up like the 6th generation. Oh, hold on. I might have it here. Wendell Scott. Is that right? No, maybe that's not him. No, I don't think that's right. Yeah, I don't know who the driver was, but I don't know who it was. Petty Blues in a legal car sparked controversy. Well, that did happen with Richard Petty. He had an oversized engine and the wrong tires. But that was in 1983, so I don't know. I can't remember who it is. Like somebody back in the day, a long time ago, built a car that was 5/6 of the size, and maybe I don't know. Maybe somebody's figured out in the chat by now. But either way, the thing is that like somebody figured out a long time ago that people were cheating, so they started doing all these inspections on the cars to make sure that they were all the same, and to this day, like people get disqualified because like the wing off the back of the car is at the wrong angle or something like that, Yeah. They're like, oh, you guys are cheating. Whoops, get out of here, loser.
Oh, look at Sebastian Vettel, the last race before the summer holiday. He got disqualified from his podium finish because they couldn't take a litre of fuel out of his fuel tank at the end for testing. They could only take 300 mils out. Disqualified. Podium finish, and he gets disqualified because he's only got 300 mils of petrol left in his tank.
Well, like I said, I'm not sure how they do it now. Like it's probably more regulated now, but I'm saying I could never get into it in the past because it was so like, oh, Ferrari's got all the money. They just have like a spaceship and everybody else is driving a soapbox
Model
racer.
T.
Yeah. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, well, I think that's why they brought in the spending caps. But yet here we are still, and you've got, Mercedes and Red Bull are the only dominant teams, and the teams below those two, they accept the fact that they're only competing with one another. Ferrari and McLaren compete with each other because they know they're no match for Red Bull and Mercedes.
Right.
So, fingers crossed it will get a little bit more balanced next year.
Have you seen that crazy airplane racing where they go around the pylons and stuff?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Wild.
Oh,
man,
my
I can remember having
You got to have like the biggest pair of yarbles down there you've ever seen
especially
in your entire life. To be doing
planes like those. The old Amiga 500. I don't know if you're familiar with that computer.
Yeah, I am. I'm very familiar with Amigas.
One of my favorite games on that was the GB Air Rally, and it was pretty much that sport before it was even televised.
That's right. The Rebel Air Race. This is the craziest thing. I mean,
it's so wild watching how quick they can go from this to sideways and back down and then around a corner. But yeah, like you say, balls of steel to play that.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the technology now that like crashing's maybe not that big of a deal, but I feel like if you're flying around at 100 miles an hour in an airplane that's like 200 feet off the water, it's probably not going to be very good if you crash, regardless of the tech.
You want to be fairly confident with your abilities behind the wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, even the smallest of crashes, you're probably going to be out for a few weeks with a little bit of a scrape.
Right.
Got a scratch on my elbow because I crashed my plane. But yeah, that's
like
that stuff is pretty wild.
Have you ever seen hydroplanes race?
What are hydroplanes? Like
They're
hydrofoils?
It's like a boat with these two big pontoons come out the front, and they put a jet engine on it.
Oh yeah. And if they hit the air wrong, and they just go.
Oh yeah,
up off the water.
It's bad news when they wreck.
Yeah.
So they race those here near me every year. It's like a big thing.
Yeah.
It's been that way basically my entire life. I've been the hydro races. And I always forget, like, sometimes things are very contextual as to like where you've grown up, And so the hydros, they go to like Texas and Washington, Oregon, that kind of stuff, but they don't really, I don't think they get around that much really, because it's kind of a crazy expensive.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a cost prohibitive sport.
Yeah, it's not like Steve down the street, he's building a hydro in his garage,
Yeah.
But yeah, they run off of a freaking jet engine, man. Those things are intense.
Yeah, it's like the Formula One. You don't see any drivers in Formula One that grew up in the favelas.
That's right. Yeah, you don't see any of the poors driving. Driving F1.
Another one with boats too is that one where they do. It's a very small area, but they have like all tracks through dirty creek sort of stuff.
Oh, those jet boats, like through the swamp.
Oh, is that what Danny's calling the jet boats? Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like you need a navigator because there's a certain course that you've got to follow in this little freaking maze.
Through the swamp.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Pretty wild too.
I would say that like that rally stuff through the mountains, that looks pretty wild. Have you seen that?
Like as in car rallies?
Yeah, rally racing, and there's like there's a co-pilot who's just like yelling out to turn the wheel. Like
I have
they're just going full throttle, like just go as fast as this car will go on the side of a mountain. Like
I have dirt in my Steam collection of games, and I can go on record as saying I don't think I'm a very good rally driver.
Uh-oh.
Even with the navigator shouting instructions and hints and tips on the screen of where your corner's going, I like still
it's not helping
a heck of a lot. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, again, rally's another thing where it takes balls of steel to be the driver, and also quality listening and quality instruction from your neighbor. Oh, Zen Ginger's struggling with the homeschooling as well. If only Scungy was here, Zenny, she'd jump on that bandwagon with you in no time at all.
Who's homeschooling?
Scungy's got to homeschool her kids at the moment because Zen Ginger was saying that she's homeschooling hers as well. But with our lockdowns and stuff, they've kicked all the kids out of school unless they have to be there. So, your seniors, your year 11 and 12 students, I think, can go to school for necessary stuff. But for the most part, all the kids are home at the moment while we've got this Delta shit spinning out of control. Whoa, shake it out. Shake it off. Also, is there any decent free video editing software out there comparable to Video Vegas? Because I'm poor and I can't afford to buy it, and I've misplaced the install file for the one on my old laptop, and I need to get Video Vegas on this here computer.
Oh, like Sony Vegas, you mean? Or
Yeah.
it's like Magic Vegas now?
I always knew it as Video Vegas, but yeah, they did start calling it Sony Vegas. Any free ones I've found all leave a watermark. That just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah. Filmora. Have you tried Filmora?
I've not even heard of Filmora.
I know that like Filmora is pretty good. That's a free one. Let's see.
DaVinci Resolve. I'm going to have to start writing shit down, aren't I?
Yeah, DaVinci Resolve would be a good one, or Blender.
Hang on. I've got to get some paper that's not my coaster for my drink.
All right.
Looking for my notepad. I mean, my son who gave me my original Video Vegas copy, he doesn't have it anymore, and he did suggest that I could go onto YouTube, and YouTube will tell me a method to find a new version of Vegas. Mm-hmm. The reason I'm super into Vegas is because most of my music production I did on Sony's Acid Pro.
Yeah.
And Vegas pretty much operates exactly the same way, so I don't have to learn anything new.
Yeah, I mean, I use Vegas myself. I think the new edition, like if you have a crappy version, I think is $199. I think to upgrade.
As in 199.
I think so.
See, I was very tempted to do that with Acid Pro not long ago as well, because I just got a demo version to try and render some of my old tracks out. And then I realized that when I was doing all of my studio stuff, 10, 15 years ago, I had a lot of plugins. So most of my stuff now, I try to open it in Acid Pro and it's not how it's supposed to sound because all of the effects and synthesizers and stuff are missing.
Right.
So I was like super tempted because I think I can get Acid Pro for about $150. But
yeah, I think if you buy Vegas now, you get SoundForge, I think is what it's called. I think that's the new version of it. I think it's called SoundForge.
Well, SoundForge has always been around, but SoundForge was always more for just like single clips, editing single little bits and tweaking them and stuff.
I think when Magic's bought it, they just smushed it all together. Yeah,
Acid Pro and SoundForge all in one now.
Yeah,
with all of their abilities. Yeah, right.
And I think if you buy Vegas, you just get it now as part of the bundle.
All right.
I don't know. I would double check, but I think that's what it said when I loaded my editing software the other day. I had a pop-up thing that was like, you could buy the new version, which all you'd need is just an old version and then just buy the upgrade. It'll just put you through the upgrade path, basically. Like if you don't have a key, it'll just be like, oh, you have an old one. You should just get the new one, which I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's in your wheelhouse, but Blender is a free one. Filmora is a free one.
Thank you. I was just about to ask because I couldn't see any in the chat. Is that Blender as in normal Blender spelling?
Yeah, like a blender.
Not like grinder, eliding the E.
Well, you want to download Grinder also while you're at it.
Oh, I've already got Grinder. God.
Oh, okay, good.
Been
So if you
using
get
Grinder
Blender,
for
you can mix
years.
it with Grinder.
What was the next one you said after Blender or before Blender?
Filmora. It's called
Filmora.
Filmora. And DaVinci Resolve. And if you can't figure it out with those three, you're gonna have to download and pay for something.
Yeah, righto. Thank you for your input, peoples. Lols. There's a little nonsense that I drew a few weeks ago. That's enough of that. So on very, 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 very shiny paper that then it's folded in half, and when I opened it out, it has the nutrition information for my Stormtrooper hot sauces.
Oh, delicious.
They weren't really. It was kind of a letdown.
You told me they were not good.
No, not even one of them was very palatable.
Well, I told you I was on this mission to make my own chili sauce.
Well, I can't wait to try it.
I don't know if I'm ever going to ship it to Australia.
You fucking better.
It's a long ways, man, and I bet they would probably just throw it out at the border. Like, what are these idiots doing? You know, they X-ray it and it says it's a spicy sauce. Throw it away.
Yeah, it's got seeds in it. Burn it, incinerate it.
Yep. Although the capsaicin would probably burn their eyes, and then we would have the last laugh. You fools. They'd be coughing. They'd think they had COVID.
One would hope so. Yeah, but that's actually Thai Hunsicker. I don't know whether intentionally or not, but obviously different chilies if you're using your own chilies to make a hot sauce. But if you stumble across a brilliant recipe, then you can just send me the recipe and I can have a crack at my own.
That's right. I'm making that chili oil, and I can't remember the type of chili I'm using right now because I've been using a whole bunch of them, and it's very confusing because they're in like Chinese and Vietnamese and whatever. So that's confusing. And but saffron seems to be the key, and running the chili oil with the oil ahead of time with the garlic and some herbage, and then straining that off and letting it cool, and then adding all the chili saffron crap to it, and then just letting it sit there for a while seems to be the key. I'm getting on. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring out what those guys have been up to, making this super secret chili sauces that I like so much. I'm getting there, but that seems to be the key so far. You just warm the oil with the garlic and the herbs, like right before stuff starts sizzling in there. You know what I mean? Like the garlic and stuff. Just let it sit like that for 15 minutes to a half an hour at that temp.
We should always do that with your garlic anyway.
Yeah. And then that gives it the essence, but then you want to get the garlic out of there. You want to strain it out. Otherwise, the garlic's just sitting in there kind of being sort of cooked and stuff and being gross.
Yeah.
A good chance of making rancid oil that way. So that's my recommendation. And then add all your chili flake and saffron, which that seems to be the key. And then adding a little bit of sesame oil while it just steeps and chills for a couple days. Oh my God, feedback.
That's me. Just ignore that. Hopefully.
I was on a feedback loop, dude. I'm on a feedback loop.
Why can't I mute it though?
I'm on a feedback loop. Oh, it went away. My fresh beats.
I just wanted to
I can't wait to start adding mixes and madness to my live stream. I'm just not good enough at it yet. I've realized from testing, I'm not that good at it yet.
Yeah, I had a bin chicken. Was very close, and he raids my I've got my worm farm. Oh no, what did I do? I've got my worm farm close by, and he comes in, and I've got this 4-liter container of worm juice that I bottle off. But this ibis comes in and he goes through it, filtering through for bugs and stuff that he wants to eat. And it's just, to me, it's very gross that he's going through this worm juice liquid. And now he's wandered off, so I'm wasting my time and everyone else's.
Oh my God. Huh.
Close that then. Well, I can't even, it's not even disappearing off the backstage now. Sweet and sour. Isn't that like a, is that a booze ingredient?
Sweet and sour?
Yeah.
Well,
or just some sweet and sour sauce, like
sweet and sour
Asian
sauce, probably. That would be my guess.
Fucking then I put the phone down and the bin chicken comes back. Such a doopy bird, derpy bird. Derpy bird. You're a derp bird.
Holy crap. This is actually brilliantly good news. Ooh. Canon lens. So the lens that I use for almost all my fish videos and stuff is a 15 by 35 millimeter lens.
That's so refreshing to hear Americans talk in decimals. Or metric.
The damn thing costs $2,200. So
Jeez.
very expensive lens. I use it all the time. And I use an old 16 millimeter to 35 millimeter lens on my stream camera here. And I do not want to spend $2,000 on a new one. Recently, the rumor has come out that there is a 16 millimeter only lens made by Canon that's going to be released fairly soon. And apparently somebody accidentally posted it for sale on Amazon, even though it doesn't come out until October 14th. And the brand new price is $299.99, which is
wow.
$300.
$300, right?
$300 means
$3,000.
$300 means I could probably buy one of those and slap it on a camera over there and sell my. This one's like, I don't know, $1,500 or something. So I might just sell it and use one of my old cameras. Very good news. No one cares, but it's good news. $300 is way easier to like figure out
than $2.5 grand.
Yeah, $2.5 grand is like, nope, not doing that. $300 is like, oh, I could make $300. You know, I could always go down to the docks and make $300. You know.
No, I was going to say at your rates, that's only like 5 hours work, isn't it? $60 an hour.
It's like 3 minutes.
One of the lessons I've learnt with exaggeration is not take it too far. Oh, Scungy's left completely now. I just popped her backstage until she reappeared, but now she's disappeared from backstage as well.
Uh-oh. I don't know. She wandered off. I think she must be wandering out in the road or something.
Well, I think by the amount of sound that was occurring when she disappeared, I think there was some stuff going on with the kids. But
right. To those of you guys that say, meanwhile you're doing YouTube on your phone, hey man, these phones are like space age technology, man. If you're gonna start doing YouTube and you don't make any money off of YouTube, start with your phone. I highly recommend it. Your next purchase should be a lavalier microphone, which generally costs between $30 and $6,000, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
shouldn't spend.
go all
You should
out
not.
and spend
Well, you
$50.
should. Yeah, spend $50,
Get
maybe
a decent
100
one.
on a real fancy wireless one. That should be your next purchase. After that, just keep editing and making videos, man. That's my recommendation. I started out with, what the hell was that one? It was let's see, we'll have to look it up. It was like the first iPod.
Well, I was doing all of my YouTube videos when I used to make videos back in the olden days.
I started out my YouTube channel on a 5th generation iPod that came out.
That moment when
2005.
I just went to flick a leaf off my table and it flew away. Welcome to Australia.
It had like the click wheel and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I was doing videos on my YouTube channel, I was doing them on my nice Nikon camera,
Right.
and then I got this new phone, and my Nikon camera, sure, it does 1080p at 60p. Great, beautiful film, but now this phone that I've got does bloody 4K video at 60p.
Yeah.
I was like, I switched my phone on the other day because it's got a fantastic zoom lens on my camera. Sorry, it's got a great zoom lens, and I needed to see a bird down there in the paddock. So generally, that's what I'll do because I'm old and my eyes don't work so well. I use the zoom lens to see stuff far away that I can't see.
Well, yeah, it's like
it had been off so long that the date had reset and stuff that the battery had gone so flat that there was not enough charge to keep the date in it. So,
as Ty says, they just ordered the S21 Plus.
That's a Samsung Galaxy, is it?
Yeah, which I'm sure someday I'll probably order that phone or something like that. But there you go. I mean, it's $1,000 phone. You know,
man.
I mean, maybe you got a better deal on it, but it's $1,000 phone. I mean, so
it wasn't that long ago, and I had the Galaxy 6, and they're already up to 21. What the funk?
I think they jumped a bunch of numbers. I think mine's a what's mine? Mine's a 10. Mine's a Note 10. I think. S10 Note Plus or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I went for this Auto brand. Have you heard of Auto out of China?
No. We can't get Chinese phones here.
Yeah, I know they stopped the Huawei.
There's not a lot of Chinese phones that you can get here. I mean, there are some, but
how do the Autos keep coming through?
The what?
Auto. Hard to see it with my green screen.
You got a green screen issue. How do you spell it? ODDO?
Yeah, some people do.
ODDO phone price. Well, here we go. Let's look this up. Well, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 5G is $1,800.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, I guess I can find him here.
It's actually Oppo, but I like to be funny and call it Oddo and turn it upside down.
Oh, there's Oppo. There we go. It corrected it for me. No, you can't.
Damn, that means that thousands of Googlers have done my joke before me.
Yeah. I mean, there are some that are here, but like I don't even know if you can buy them. I mean, you're buying them like third party, whatever.
Came in a dodgy shipping container from China.
Yeah, realistically. Ulefone. I don't know. There are knockoff phones that you can buy. I mean, I like a Samsung phone myself.
Yeah,
So whenever I break it, I buy a new one.
My last 2 or 3 phones were Samsungs before this Oppo, but unfortunately Samsung had nothing in the price point that I required when I got my Oppo, and I've been very happy with my Oppo.
Yeah.
And essentially, whatever information the Chinese government may have on me, they can keep. What are they going to do? G'day, Sunfish for Fish. It has been a long time no see. Welcome back. It's good to see you. But yeah, ever since I had a Samsung telephone, they've not let me down. My mum still uses a Samsung phone that she's had for multiple years. She's probably due for an upgrade, but doesn't use it too much, so might not be necessary to go and spend $1,800 on a S21.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's a lot of cheese to throw out there for a phone.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the key thing, isn't it? That they're not just phones anymore. They're bloody life support systems for a lot of people. They should call them iron lungs, not telephones. Yeah. My iron lung, well, I can ring my friends on and talk to them with video.
Recently, I switched over from the old 100mm macro to the RF 100mm macro that just came out. And I got to say, that new one is real nice. Real nice lens.
Is that just this macro at a flat distance or a macro zoom?
Well, it's 100mm, so it's a prime lens. It's kind of this. I don't know if it's right to say that it's the standard macro lens that's out there, because a lot of people use the 135 and stuff like that. But it's the newest macro lens that's 100mm equivalent, right? On a full frame. So it's actually really nice. The old one, I think, came out in something like 2005 or 2007 or something like that, and there was no reason to update it. It's just that good.
Perfect. Yeah.
And the new one, I think, is an actual improvement. I think it is sharper. It definitely has kind of better colors. It's quicker autofocusing. The autofocusing on it is blazing fast. So,
and this is the one that has been released at $300 instead of $2,000.
No.
Ah, right.
No, the 100mm macro is it's like a pro version lens, whatever it's called, the L series Canon lens. So it was like 15. I think it was after tax. I think it was like $1,500. I think, but I can sell the old. Someone's gonna buy the old one for $1,400. So realistically, like it's like $100.
Break even, you could call it.
Yeah, pretty much. Get new lens, sell the old one. So stuff like that. Like money I invested in lenses is pretty easy to sell a lens off for, not much loss as far as the price.
Yeah, especially if you've kept it well. They maintain their value very well.
Well, the thing is, like, if you save the box and all the stuff that came with it too, like, I think, like, let me see here. Let me look up KEH. So, like, in the States, KEH, they buy used camera equipment online from you. So you do like you do like this. You do like a Zoom call with them and like show them that you have the lens, blah blah blah, and then they give you a shipping label, and then you pack it up and send it to them. If you have the box and all the stuff that came with it and everything, like, you don't lose hardly hardly any value off of a lens because they can resell it for quite a bit.
Yeah. And yeah, there's not a lot you can do to fuck up a lens unless you've dropped it half a dozen times.
Right.
If you keep it well, keep it nice, and keep it tidy, it certainly will retain its value. Xperia. Isn't Xperia's, is that a Sony? Stephen? Double M triple I? Oh, that's an interesting line. Oh, the wrong side. I've got a hole. Got a hole in my face.
Whoa.
An extra hole in my face, I should say. I've already got 5. 7 maybe. If ear holes are considered your face. Are ears considered your face? I should put a poll up for that. I don't even know if we've got Motorola phones anymore down here in Australia.
I don't know.
I thought they were dead and buried. But they obviously selling phones somewhere.
Yeah, BJ Palmer has the Galaxy S10.
I know
it's a pretty good phone. It's I've been happy with how well it works, to be honest.
Yeah. I've never been dissatisfied with either of the Galaxies that I've had. I've had 2 different Samsung Galaxies and they were both very, very good telephones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Samsung, once they got that big, the second biggest share of the market behind the iPhones, I think their price point sort of went up and priced me out of the Samsung market.
Right.
And that's where Otto came in and gave me a really good phone for a really good price.
Yeah. Although, realistically, I think if people are making YouTube videos, to be honest with you, this is the camera I recommend everybody to get right here. It's $200. And it's waterproof. It has time lapse. It shoots 4K. It has stability. It has the front and back camera. Or screen for viewing. You can buy audio input stuff for it. In my opinion, they're the best all around. If you're making YouTube videos, it's the Osmo. DJI makes it. It's the Osmo Action. Best camera around for making YouTube videos, especially at $200. The thing is ready to go. Shoots a whole bunch of stuff, whole bunch of different styles, and anything that you could want for for shooting fish-related YouTube videos. And they're very easy to use, very simple to use and figure out. And that's what I would recommend to people to get. If you were using your cell phone and you wanted to get another little camera or another camera, this is going to shoot really good quality stuff for you. And it's $200 out the box.
What's it called?
I linked it in the chat here. It's the Osmo Action. Looks like
Blake,
a little GoPro.
I think Blake and Rumble are always banging on about those guys.
Yep. I mean, I shot all of the footage I shot in Peru for Aquarium Co-op was shot on those. I have 3 of them. I took them all with me.
Now, speaking of Aquarium Co-op, has Corey started streaming on a Tuesday night before us? Before Bentley or something? Bentley was talking about.
He streamed Tuesday night. He streamed tonight because when I was leaving his house, he was like, I'm getting ready for my Tuesday night stream. I'm like, when are you streaming on Tuesday? And he's like, as of today. I was like, all right,
Yeah,
dude.
right. Yeah, Bentley made a mention of it.
I don't know.
His stream.
I feel
But
like there's, I mean, the thing is, like, there's always somebody streaming.
Yeah.
Always. Every day, any time of day or night or morning or whatever, there's always somebody streaming. And it sucks to stream when somebody else is and you like them or dislike them or are indifferent to them or whatever. It just, you got to do what you got to do, man. And when it's your time to be on, you just go for it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we're competing with the Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? Game of Thrones is an example I use all the time. Because I would talk to YouTubers, they're starting out and they would want help and they would be like, well, what do I do? And I go like, look, man, work on your script, work on what it is that you're making, shorten it down, and just make it as informative, helpful, and entertaining as possible, right? And they go like, well, why would I have to do all that stuff? And I go, because if you do what I did in the past, you're not going to ever get any views, right? So do what I say and not what I've done, right? But like, and I can say that from experience. Like I have a ton of old videos that get no views because they're nonsense. They're not even funny. They're just ridiculously bad. And so I try to tell people to work on that. And then they would go like, well, whatever, man. Like there's not that many fish YouTubers that blah, 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 right? And you're like, you're competing with Game of Thrones, man. Like people are going to watch an hour of Game of Thrones when Game of Thrones is on, right? That's an hour out of the week that they're not going to be able to watch your YouTube video. Because they sure as hell ain't going to watch your fish YouTube video when they're watching Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah,
and
it's a conflict of interest of some sort.
Well, they're not. They're going to be watching Game of Thrones, right? And, you know, so it's like, yeah, you're actively competing with the newest Marvel movie that came out. Like, if the newest Marvel movie takes up 3 hours of somebody's week, that's 3 hours that they can't watch your YouTube video. And then they go to work, and then they do this, and then they do that, and they got a million things to do. So you just got to make your thing, you know.
Just do you.
You just got to make your thing as good as you can so that when people actually do stop in to look at it, they really like it. You know, somebody commented on a video just like a couple days ago because they were stuck in the loop of watching a bunch of my videos, you know. And one of the comments they left was, hey, man, here's a piece of advice. Why don't you take your face off and just shoot video of the fish tank next time, you know? And it's like...
Fucking
hey, man, why don't you take your face off first, and then I'll consider it. Send me a video of you taking your face off, and then I'll consider taking my face off. How about that? Or, I don't know, start your own damn YouTube channel, and I'll come over there and troll you back, I guess, or something. I don't know. I just delete them because I don't care. It's like, whatever. You know.
Essentially, they were looking for a bite, and they got it.
Well, they did. Well, I didn't reply back to them. I just deleted them. When people are cunty to me, I just delete them. I don't care. There's 100 million more people right behind them. You know?
Waiting to be cunty as well.
There's 5 billion people on the internet.
At least, yeah.
No, there's still 2 billion that aren't. But there's 5 billion people on the internet.
Oh, yeah, but those 2 billion that aren't, you know, they wander past an internet cafe every other day. They can jump
well, it's
on
mostly,
their emails if they want.
let's be honest here. It's mostly small children and old people, right?
Yeah.
Oh, am I supposed to say twatish? I guess I said they were being cunts to me. I don't know. I get on these Aussie shows and I start throwing the see you next Tuesday out there, you know.
We don't mind the use of the word cunt here as long as it's past the good boy timer.
That's right.
And I mean the song that I played in the intro said shit in it. So, you know, we pretty much skip the good boy timer straight out the gate.
That's true. It's true.
I forget what I was going to say. What was I going to say?
Oh, Danny Wesh says, I don't know, BJ. My video quality would be 4K if my video editing software was better. Now, I fully understand what it is that you're saying there. But what I want you to try to do is just shoot the best quality 1080p that you can. Work on framing your shot so you don't need to crop. You don't need to punch in. You don't need to make changes or anything like that. Work in a high quality 1080p. And then when you go to edit the final export, when you do the render it as 4K. And then when you upload it to YouTube, YouTube won't compress it as badly because it will think that it's a 4K video, and it'll basically downgrade what it thinks is a 4K video to a 1080p video, and it'll look like actual 1080p on YouTube. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Because YouTube is like, we need to compress all this nonsense. And it makes sense as a business. Like, they should compress those video files so that they can actually fit them all in their damn server farms.
And realistically, 1080p still looks bloody nice.
1080p looks good when it's in focus, man. Yeah. When it's focused and the lighting is good, 1080p looks fine. Everybody's watching on their phone anyhow. So
yeah, essentially, as long as the original recording and content that you do is done to the best standard you could obtain,
right?
Then yeah, that's all you got to worry about.
Audio is what you really have to worry about. Like, your picture quality can be kind of whatever. If your audio is jacked, people will just immediately click off of it. So as long as your audio is good and clear, crisp, not a whole lot of crazy background noise that doesn't apply. If that hopefully makes sense. Like, if you're filming outside down at the park, there should be some kind of birds chirping and a little bit of ruckus going on in the background. It's contextual. It makes sense. But if you're sitting in your office and there's like a jackhammer going off in the background, like, people are like, what? Or if there's ringing, or if you did mono when it should be stereo and it's just in the left channel, it'll drive people crazy, all that kind of stuff. So just make sure your audio is good, your timing is good, your storyline is good. Make sure things are scripted. And, you're going to be fine. You definitely are going to be fine. If you stick with it, you're going to get some people following your channel. And I always try to tell people, like, don't live stream. Like, live streaming is the worst thing that you could do for your YouTube channel. It literally is. What's that?
It so is.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally the worst thing that you can do for your YouTube channel. YouTube will punish you relentlessly doing live streams. I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, wow, I'm going to do live streams. They watch Twitch, they watch whatever, and the impression is like, people are getting super chats and they're getting this and they're getting that. And the reality is, like, it's the worst thing that you could do for your YouTube channel.
It certainly doesn't build your YouTube channel.
No, not at all. It does the opposite. It shrinks your YouTube channel.
I mean, look at me. When I used to do videos, my subscribers climbed and climbed. And when I stopped doing videos and just did live streams, now I'm, what do you call it? Wallowing. I'm wallowing in the early 700s.
That's right. You're stuck.
Surely Stephen P. and Danny Weshy. I shouldn't have even tried to say that last name. Surely they've got grandmothers they can get to subscribe to my channel.
Get some grandmas. Get some grandmas down here.
My mum subscribed to my channel, and she's a grandma. Many times. Yeah. She's a great grandma.
So,
as in her grandkids have had kids.
It's a good point brought up by Geek Boy here. Is that, wait, YouTube punishes for live streaming? I thought that was what we were in chat for, which is a good point. I get the joke. But yeah, the algorithm of YouTube will directly punish your channel for, you live stream for 3 hours and people watch 6 minutes of it. The retention's bad. Click-through rate is bad. All that stuff is bad. All the metrics of you doing a YouTube are bad as far as
the replays don't get put in people's suggested videos and stuff like that.
No.
So yeah,
and then people don't want to watch it later because they're like, oh, what is this, a 3-hour yammer fest of nonsense, and I'm like,
I think
that's what it was. That's what I was doing, So.
I think a lot of people too have that thing with live streams where if they weren't there at the time, then they don't soak up the vibe or whatever it was.
Yeah. Now, the thing that you could do with live streaming, like if you had an editor or if you just had like a ton of time on your hands, you could edit clips from your live stream and put those up as a video. But the issue with that is that your clips from a live stream aren't going to be as good as an edited video of the thing that you were talking about in a live stream, right? So let's say we were here talking about the Bad Batch, right? It would be a lot better if we made a video about the Bad Batch episode and then cut it down so it was funny and fast and it went bop-a-da-bop-a-da-bop-a-da-bop-a-da-bop, and it was 7 minutes and 38 seconds long versus 38 minutes and 7 seconds long of us joking around and losing track of what we're talking about and then being
tangents.
Like, hey, how about them Seahawks? Because that's what we do. Because we're literally just riffing, talking to each other, being like, well, hey, we could be live on the internet or we could just have like a private video call for 3 hours. So we might as well do it live, man,
But Stephen, I think if you're still putting out edited content, then that's what YouTube really likes. So if you're putting out your edited videos,
definitely hurt your channel.
You're doing an occasional live stream,
that will still hurt your channel.
If you're still pumping out the videos,
still hurts your channel.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Your videos are still going to go well, but your live streams aren't going to do your channel any favor.
It will hurt your videos. The live streams will hurt your videos. I cannot explain that enough, that YouTube does not want you to live stream. That's why they added members. It's why they added clips. It's why they've added the chat. That's why they've added super chat. They've done everything they can to make it more profitable for YouTube to have people live streaming on it. They don't want people to live stream. They do not want that. They're forced into doing it because Twitch is successful. It's the only reason that they are like, I guess we have to, right?
Yeah. And OnlyFans. I mean, my OnlyFans live streams go off.
My OnlyFans live streams are wild, bro.
Oh, I mean, I've seen a couple of yours, and I've not left one semi-rigid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, see, Danny says, I'll get a notification about someone else's live stream a week after it was done. Yep. So, like, my best advice to anybody, like, if you want to live stream, what you'd want to do is put up edited content on a YouTube channel until you get to the point where you have, like, the community tab, which I think you need like 10,000 subscribers and X amount of whatever to get a community tab where you could post about your live streams to your subscribers on YouTube, or make a commercial in your edited content that says, hey, I live stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Saturday or whatever. Feel free to stop by anytime and talk to me on my Twitch channel, and then post it down in the link or something. But it's one of those things, man. Like, I know people with over 1 million subs, and live streaming tanks their channel. It just does. That's just how it works. That's just how YouTube is for now. And it has been for a really, really long time now. And I don't think that they'll ever change that. I don't think that they will.
I probably would have went with Twitch as well, but they get their bloody bees in their bonnet when I get my tits out. So
Yeah, they do. They get really upset when we get in our hot tub.
Yeah. I have to
And I'm just
stick
like,
with
look, dude, I just
OnlyFans.
want my bird out and I want to be in a hot tub and I want people to pay me for it. And I'm like, why won't you let me do that? And they're like, what do they say? They have standards. I'm like,
Yeah. I think
okay,
they try and dumb it down by saying, "Oh, we're just typically spoil sports.
that's right.
Just trying to ruin your fun. Don't let it get in the way of you having a good day, but we're not letting you have fun on our dollar,
Right.
bastards."
Yeah, Stephen, it's a as he says, that's good to keep in mind. I guess I'm in a softer position here that I have a good day job and YouTube is just my creative outlet for fun. So yeah, I mean, that's actually like the best advice I could give to people is just to continue to work on it in a fun way, and then just keep getting better at making the best content that you can. I mean, it realistically is the way to go about it. And if you're not reliant on it to make money, then that's a good position to be in. And if you have time to work
just
on
keep
it,
doing
then,
you.
yeah. And then just make the best videos that you can. Under the directives of going like, hey, how do films make films? It's like they have a script, they have a shot list, they have an idea of what it all should look like and stuff. And, you don't have to be perfect, obviously, but yeah, there's a reason they do all the stuff they do that way. There's a reason, and that's why they
they've
get
kind
paid.
of ironed out.
Why
the
they get
process,
paid $300
haven't they?
million to make a Iron Man movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much the only thing that live streams are good for, Danny, is the watch hours.
Mm-hmm.
I did just have a bug fly up my nose, and I have a strange feeling it's still in my nose.
Well, you might die.
I'm going to go off camera so I can stick my finger up my nose at least.
All right. Well, I'm actually getting to the
No
point
one
where
needs to see that, do they?
he came back for the full reveal. I actually am hitting my bedtime, so I got to go to bed. Who else here? Danny, S, Steven, Ty, or is this Steven or Stefan? I don't know. Either way, those are the only people that it says that are here. The robots.
And
the good doctor. The good doctor. Dr. Acula.
Dr. Acula. I like it.
We'll have to talk next week because I got a hard out. I got to go to bed, dude.
You got recommendations before you fuck off?
Oh, what was my recommendation earlier? The Shining movie?
The Shining and Dune, probably.
The Dune's going to be big, dude. Dune's going to be rad. I haven't watched that much stuff in the last couple weeks. I've been just reading. I've just been reading books, so I don't. It's hard for me to recommend reading books to people because they're like, I don't read books. Yeah, it's like, okay, well,
I don't read books and I don't have an Audible account.
You should get an Audible account.
Yeah,
it's helpful.
It's not that dear.
Huh?
It's not that expensive, I should say. Dear is not a word that everyone uses, is it?
Well, yeah. Well, no, I know what you're saying, but I just thought you were calling me dear, and I was like, I know, honey. But
Schnookums,
sugar booger. Yeah, Audible's great. I definitely recommend that for people. I think a cheaper one is the Blinkist. I think Blinkist is cheaper, but it's sort of a synopsis of books. So that could be like not helpful to people if they're only getting the synopsis.
Yeah,
basically.
Abridged versions or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The quick version. Here's all the important parts that we think are important.
Yeah. There's no way to deliver a story. Goodness.
Oliver Twist, the 1948 version, is apparently $5.95 on eBay. But look at that shipping. You're getting raked over the coals. $3.35 for shipping. Get out of here.
Bastards.
Get that weak shit out of here. But
Big
yeah,
tank Hank. G'day, mate. How's it
Oh,
going?
my recommendation for this week was Stefan P 2003 Aquatics. That's our recommendation of the week. Go check out that YouTube channel.
Did you get Stephen's request before as well that he wants? Hang on, I'll try and scroll back and find it. Joel, I'd actually love your feedback on my video quality with this phone. If you get a chance to look, you can skip to the song at 220 and onward on my latest vid.
Well, now I got your address.
Also, by all means,
you might not realize, but this unboxing, you put the barcode on there. Don't recommend putting the barcode on there.
But everything's on there, I noticed.
What's that? Oh, there's a sticker over his address, but you can see the last 4 of his shipping of his zip code. And
good luck.
I don't know. I closed the chat. I don't have the chat anymore, so if he's chatting, we'll find out. I don't recommend putting the barcode on there either, because really feisty people can print out the barcode and scan it. Scan the barcode.
Yeah, wise advice. One of my personal favorites, because I am a metalhead, I like my heavy metal. Stephen did a 3-song video, let's call it, so it's less confusing. And the third one was a death metal song about the fish that he was unboxing. Definitely my favorite Stephen P song so far. If you find that one, get into it. Everyone bloody subscribe to Stephen P's channel if you haven't already, especially you people watching the replay. As we've
Stephen gets way more comments than I do. He posted a video like a couple days ago and he's got like 70 comments on it.
Mint.
Good job.
You're doing the right stuff, Stephen P.
He posted it 2 days ago. Look at that. I could post a video that has 5,000 views and it has like 3 comments on it. Like, hey man.
Yeah, that always intrigues me, the way you get these massive view amounts and fuck all comments. Not just you, but many YouTube videos are like that, have thousands of views and they might be lucky to have 1 or 2 comments on them.
It's a weird one.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
It is kind of hard, Chatty, to pick a favorite Stephen P song, because they're all pretty bloody good, even though they might just have been created on the spur of the moment. But yeah, I'm still disappointed that no one has come into my chat and said, Blacky, you need to go and subscribe to Stephen P.
It's kind of, does it piss you off? Are you frustrated?
It's like, fuck, it's right in my wheelhouse, people. As if they don't know that I would really enjoy Stephen P's channel. Like, freaking send me there, you geese.
Where's the one with the 3 songs?
Stephen P will probably type it into the chat. What it was for Jess's morning show, whatever that was called. Main's Tales for Main's Tail, Fur and Fins or something it's called.
What is it? Stickers? He's got a stickers video from the co-op.
I haven't watched that one, so I don't know if it's a song or not. But yeah, it's actually watching Stephen's channel actually inspired me to go and steal Fruity Loops off my son and start trying to make some music stuff again. It's like, you never know what you might see on my channel coming soon.
That's right. You never know.
Oh, there you go. There's a fish songs playlist on Stephen's channel.
I'm going to check it out. Playlist. Fish music? Oh, there's 7 of them. All right, what we got?
he says that the fish one, the 3 one, is the last vid in that playlist.
All right. I'll check it out.
It's very, very interesting seeing, I don't know whether they were hillstream loaches or Borneo suckers, and, just doing their lovely little friendly activities to the tunes of a death metal song, going death, and that's such a cutesy little fish. They just marry up with death metal so perfectly. I love it.
All right, guys. I gotta go to bed. I'm a pumpkin.
Rightio. Thanks for coming and stuff and all that.
You know it. We always have a good time.
Very, very, very delicate finish by the Corvus. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if I've even seen Danny's stuff. Have we got any mods in the house that can post Danny's link as well? I don't know if GRB's still here. But anyway, Danny Weshy shouldn't be too hard to find on the YouTubes. A throat singing one like the Mongolians. That kind of stuff. I am the only me. Righto, Danny, you shouldn't be too hard to find then. Any other questions or issues that we need to jump on before we go? Because I've got things to do as well that I could probably high lung, like you've been smoking too much weed. Your lungs are high. Nice one, GRB. I should probably open that in a new tab so I can find that chat in a bit. He's already muted. Very good. Danny Weishi channel opened. Oh, I'm already subscribed to Danny. When was the last time you put out a video, Danny? 5 days ago. Why aren't I getting notifications? I will click the notification button. Might actually help. Seems I've been subscribed to Danny for quite some time. All right. I see Algae official music video parody of Walk by Pantera. I can very, very, very clearly remember early 1992, and a friend of mine put his Walkman, old cassettes, remember them? Put his Walkman earphones in my ears and said, "Listen to this." And it was Walk by Pantera, and it was defining for an era. Hearing that at that time, it was one of the heaviest things I'd heard. Great song. It's a lot of reminiscence comes from good old Pantera songs from those days. The riffs are good, GRB. I thought, I don't know, did I go through it last week? Yeah, we did, didn't we? That I thought that the male was confused by the female getting fat, and it triggered his breeding response. But she wasn't full of eggs. She was just full of prawn carcass. And yeah, now they've just gone back to male chasing the female around. So yeah, maybe I've got a clear some bristlenose. There's like 4 or 5 bristlenose in that tank that if the rivs do start breeding, they're going to murder those bristlenose. So I've got to get them out of there. Then I'll start, as the weather warms up, I'll move to a higher protein diet, more bloodworms and prawn meat, and probably trigger them into breeding this season. Oh, hello. You can die. So yeah, I don't know really if I want to breed fish at the moment. I mean, I'm desperately hoping that my white clouds breed inside. There's definitely been a lot of fin flaring and stuff going on from some of my male white clouds, so I am a little bit expectant, but at least they can all survive in the same tank together. Whereas breeding cichlids breeds other complications, doesn't it? Like requiring 75 other tanks to grow them out fast enough. BJ had a cassette the other day. Surreal. It is surreal. I've got a little packet of a few of my old ones laying around, but I've got nothing to play them in. Unfortunately, most cassette players had rubber bands to run the spindles and whatnot. And they deteriorate with age. So if you get a cassette player that's 20 years old, it's likely that it's just going to chew your tapes up anyway. But yeah, you know, what an excellent medium it was. Excellent in, I'm not sure what facet, but it was pretty good for what we were doing with them. Recording songs off the radio, and if you got a double tape deck, you could copy tapes. Whoa! Yeah, one of my sons, that he flips cars. He buys old cars and then fixes them up and sells them over. He was looking for tapes a few weeks back because he got this car that had a cassette player in it. But I couldn't find any of mine at the time. I don't know if he ended up finding any or if it didn't chew up whatever he found. But yeah, tape players were always fraught with risk, but so convenient. So yeah, I don't know. Let's call it quits, shall we? It's nearly been 3 hours. Nearly's good enough. Yeah, that's a good idea, Lonnie. I've got one of those like headphone adapters that you can put into a tape player, and it transmits the single through the reading head of the cassette player. I've got one of them somewhere, but I don't think it'll do the same job. Yeah, I can still remember being a kid and just that anticipation of wanting my first double deck cassette thing, because that's all we did was we tried to copy from tape to tape, and the best way to do it was with a double deck. You couldn't just sit 2 machines in front of each other and record the noise, because that was hideous. All right, everyone, let's pass off from here and go and do all that stuff that we need to do. All right. Yeah, I might have to have a look for one of them, even though probably most of the stuff on tape I probably have in the MP3 format already. Jimmy P, it was really cool watching you kill your channel, Blacky. Good to you. Yeah, that's what live streams do, Jimmy. Thank you for hanging out. Don't know how long you've been here, and if you were in earlier, I'm sorry I missed your hellos. But yeah, you know, if you want to kill your channel, just keep doing live streams. You don't get subscribers with live streams. You get them with educational, well-edited, quality audioed videos. So, you know, look after yourselves and each other. And thanks, GRB, for your link and whatnot. Always good to have a quality mod around. And if I don't see you in the meantime, I'll see you all when I'm looking at you. Bye for now.